The year is 2025, and the world of boxing has just witnessed one of the most talked about spectacles in recent memory. Anthony Joshua, the two-time heavyweight world champion from Britain, a man celebrated for his sheer power, technical discipline, and Olympic pedigree, stepped into the ring against none other than Jake Paul, the crossover phenomenon, YouTuber turned prizefighter, who has shocked critics time and again by defeating former UFC stars and holding his ground against professional boxers. For months leading up to the fight, fans and analysts were divided. Was this bout a money grab, or could Jake Paul actually pull off the unthinkable against one of the most decorated heavyweights of the modern era? Social media buzzed, press conferences turned hostile, and the tension reached boiling point. Anthony Joshua made it clear, "I will show the world the difference between a real heavyweight and a pretender." Meanwhile, Jake Paul fired back with his trademark bravado, "Everyone underestimates me until they're on the canvas." This wasn't just a fight. It was a cultural crossover event. A traditional boxing purist facing off against a modern-day celebrity fighter who had forced his way into legitimacy. The stage was set. The arena and atmosphere. The fight took place in front of a sold-out crowd, with millions tuning in worldwide. The atmosphere was electric, British fans chanting Joshua's name with pride, while Jake Paul's loyal fan base brought Hollywood flair to the occasion. Every seat in the arena was filled with celebrities, fighters, and fans eager to witness what many called the clash of eras. Joshua entered first, calm and composed, exuding confidence in his signature white robe. Jake Paul entered with his usual theatrics, dramatic lights, booming music, and chants echoing around the arena. The tension was undeniable. Round 1, measuring distance. As the bell rang, Joshua immediately established his jab, keeping Paul at distance. His size, reach, and composure were evident. Jake, however, showed he wasn't intimidated. He circled the ring, using head movement and attempting to counter with looping rights. Commentators pointed out, Jake Paul looks confident, but Joshua's fundamentals are on another level. Still, Paul landed a sneaky right hand late in the round, proving he had come to fight. The crowd roared. Round 1 score, Joshua edges it with the jab, but Paul surprises with flashes of danger. Round 2, Joshua turns up the heat. Joshua came out sharper. His combinations, jab, straight right, and left hook, forced Paul back against the ropes. Jake tried to clinch, but Joshua's strength was overwhelming. Midway through the round, Joshua landed a clean uppercut that snapped Jake's head back. The arena exploded. Paul smiled to mask the damage, but it was clear Joshua's power was no joke. Still, Jake survived, countering with a few body shots. He wasn't folding under pressure, and that alone kept his fans believing. Round 3, first knockdown. Joshua began walking Paul down, cutting off the ring. He landed a brutal left hook, right-hand combination that sent Jake stumbling. Moments later, a stiff jab followed by a thunderous right cross dropped Jake Paul to the canvas. The referee began the count. Jake got up at 7, shaking his head as if to say, "I'm still here." The crowd was on its feet. Joshua raised his gloves, confident the end was near. But to the surprise of many, Paul fought back in the final seconds, landing a counter right that caught Joshua clean on the chin. The bell saved him from further punishment, but fans knew Jake Paul wasn't going away easily. Round 3 score, clear Joshua round with a knockdown. Round 4, Jake Paul's comeback. Moment against all odds, Jake Paul stormed back. Using slick movement, he avoided Joshua's jab and began targeting the body. Mid-round, he stunned Joshua with a looping overhand right. The crowd gasped. For the first time, Joshua looked genuinely shaken. Analysts noted, Jake Paul's power is real. You cannot underestimate him. He is here to win. Still, Joshua recovered quickly, but Paul's confidence grew. The fight was no longer a one-sided showcase. It was a battle. Round 5, brutal exchange. This round turned into a slugfest. Joshua pressed forward, but Jake countered with accuracy. Both men landed heavy shots. The highlight came when Joshua unleashed a vicious left hook that nearly floored Paul. only for Paul to answer seconds later with a straight right that rocked Joshua's head back. The crowd was in disbelief. Jake Paul was trading with Anthony Joshua. Round 6, second knockdown. Joshua's championship pedigree showed. He returned to basics: stiff jab, disciplined footwork, and punishing combinations. Midway through the round, Joshua landed a crushing uppercut that lifted Paul's head high before following with a right hook. Jake Paul went down again. This time he looked hurt. He struggled up at the count of 8,